Hello, I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic Wrestling, and you are watching Tom Talks Rubbish. It's the place for interviews, wrestling reviews, and so much more.
You subscribe to Tom Talks Rubbish. I highly recommend you subscribe here first.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Tom Talks Rubbish, and today I'm back with another interview. This time, I'm joined by Tyler from Last Fan Standing, who, as you guys know, has been on the channel before for like some discussion for pay-per-views and stuff. But now we're going to do a deep dive into him. Sounds really wrong, but
no, I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Supposed to come out that way.
No, I get what you mean, Tom. I've been on the channel before, so you've already seen this face before on the channel. But yeah, we haven't really got into a deep dive of me, basically.
Basically, yeah. So we're going to do that today. But should we peel the curtain back and talk about, first of all, how our relationship started, or should we do it chronologically?
I mean, no. Let's start with that. Let's really kind of start with why me and you have come like pretty much fast friends since a few months ago now.
June time.
Yeah. It's been about June time.
Which will be a bit longer because I'm going to sit on this interview for a while because I have content.
Yeah, then that's cool.
So, yeah. So, it would have been probably about, November.
So we're in September now. I believe, I think either I approached you or you approached me about doing some editing.
I remember what it was. It was a live stream for Callum's birthday.
That was it. Yeah. So, Callum's. We had me and him did like a little bit of a birthday thing for him, and
you got absolutely blanketed, did you?
No, actually, I was all right. We didn't actually get drunk, but that was for my birthday, which we'll get into. We'll probably get into about that. Yeah, I believe it was around that time, and I think I asked you one time to come on for a live stream.
Yeah,
and you couldn't do it.
No, it wasn't that I couldn't. I was a bit resistant because I was still getting into the YouTube game and stuff like that. And as the people that have watched my interviews will know, my internet is not the greatest.
Neither is mine, Tom. I get a lot of, how Alex McCarthy likes to put it, he has go away heat with my internet.
Yeah. So I have to basically, if there's more than one person in a live stream, that makes my internet even worse for some reason.
It does that with mine as well.
So
I wouldn't worry too much.
I don't want to do it because I don't want to impact the quality. And then for me, as my YouTube channel got bigger, I realized that eventually I was going to have to do some editing, which is not something that I am proficient in. I enjoy, whatever word you want to use.
Yeah.
So, and then you said in that particular live stream.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, it was literally in that live stream. I believe. Yeah, it was basically I offered my services to you because if nobody knows, with all the editing within Last Fan Standing, I'm the one that does that. There's a few people that do some of the editing work, but I'm primarily the main editor. So there's Trent and Trevor, but I mainly do all the editing. So if you watch any of our reviews, our rants, our predictions and all that, that's all me. That's all the editing from me.
And at that time, correct me if I'm wrong, you were had a break from uni, were off from uni. It was one of the two, wasn't it?
So I had a break from university where I could basically sit in front of my laptop for a good few hours and edit for various videos. And I needed something to do. It was more, it was literally the case of I needed something to do. I need something because we weren't making as much content as I liked.
Why was that?
It was more because of it's finding the time, because all of us work. Most people work day shifts and I work evening shifts. It's our times don't overlap. There's a few of us have kids. I don't have kids, but like a few of us do have kids and other responsibilities which take priority. The channels really wasn't a priority, but we do try and make content as and where we can. Like we do our predictions, we do some, like you do our reviews. Now it's
that's
just,
a good segue, actually.
Yeah.
So you had approached me about doing some editing. I was like, yeah, if you don't mind, like it's not something I enjoy. I'm happy to pass the baton to you, sort of thing. And then for a little while, it was all good, sort of thing. Then you went back to uni.
Then I went back to uni, and unfortunately, you did have to outsource your editing because
or start doing it myself,
or do it yourself. But now I'm kind of finished with uni. Now I can go back to editing. I do enjoy editing. Not a lot of people do enjoy doing editing, but I do actually enjoy doing it. Yes, it can be tedious work, but I do enjoy doing it.
Whereas I don't. So that was the big thing for me. If someone wants to take it off my plate, have at it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And then talking about the last fan standing, me coming on to do some presenting.
Yeah.
From my perspective, you can tell. Do you want to tell it from your perspective first, or from mine?
So the perspective was you approached me about it. You approached me because we did our all-out discussion for this channel anyway. We did the all-out discussion, and then I remember you saying it didn't do as great as views as you wanted it to. Do you want to move it over to Last Man Standing? And I was like, yes, definitely do it, because you said that you're a wrestling fan anyway, and you wanted to have another outlet for your wrestling stuff. This can stay as your like interview channel,
and then just general rubbish sort of thing.
Yeah, and then we can just do any of the reviews that you want to do. You can do it for Last Man Standing and everything like that. It gave you another outlet. That's why we kind of said about it, really, is
because I told this story on an interview that I did recently with Anthony podcast. Make sure you check him out, by the way.
Yes, go check him out. Definitely.
Make sure you check him out. It was sort of the problem with YouTube, and is unless you focus on one specific topic, one specific area, one specific what's the word, Tyler?
If you stay on one topic, then the YouTube algorithm will quote unquote like you and start suggesting your videos. But if you don't stick to one subject, then it will kind of fizzle out. Basically, the recommendations don't. The recommendations like lower and all that. But we put all of our videos out on. If we're going to do a video, we put it out on Twitter. We'll put it on on Facebook group pages and all that. Just like go check this out. Yeah, which you do
as well. But at that point, for some reason, the YouTube algorithm was liking my interviews more than it was liking wrestling.
Yeah.
So I just said, and I think you put a tweet out or a Facebook thing, just being like, someone has dropped out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For All Out. Like, we're not going to have a review now.
Yeah, that was it. I think it was more of the case of we put something out on Twitter. We couldn't do live reactions for All Out. There wasn't the people that were supposed to be doing it All Out couldn't do the live reactions. And I couldn't do the live reactions either because I was so busy. We chose not to do a live reactions. But again, we were like, we are going to look to do a review. And this is when you kind of come in and we were just like, let's work together in this. You have your outlet for wrestling, and we've gained another person within the Last Man Standing team that can do our reviews.
Yeah,
it's a win-win situation.
That was it for me. Like, and that's something doing YouTube has taught me. No is not such a bad word.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if he says no, he says no. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was like, because at that point, we were just Facebook messaging, weren't we? We didn't really have any contact. And I was like, I'll send him a message and just be like, if he wants me to do it, great. If he doesn't, no skin off my nose sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of. You'll do it if you... Yeah.
You were quite receptive?
Yeah, like at the end of the day, Tom, I've watched the interviews. Me and you have kind of grown to become friends and everything like that. Through doing the editing for this channel, through the editing for my channel, through everything, through the love of wrestling. That's the big caveat here. It is the love of wrestling that has brought all of us pretty much together. That is, and
that's one thing I will say. It's Last Man Standing, the community of presenters, like all the group chats we're in, there's jokes and stuff, but it's not very toxic, is it?
No. Like put it like all of our like group chats and everything like that. We're all having a laugh with each other. We're all pretty close. We're all very close, like a close knit team. There's a few people. So 3 of them live in America. 3 of them American, but Trent, Emma. Oh wait, 4. So Trent, Emma, Dylan, and Trevor. They're all in America. So it works for them if we're doing live reactions, because they're not doing it at like 1 o'clock in the morning, where we're doing it at 1 o'clock in the morning. So
which is why a caveat for me, I said to you, if I'm going to come on, man, I won't be able to do live reactions.
Yeah.
And you were like, that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of
maybe it's probably better to have someone fresh doing the review.
Yeah. Because God knows I can do a review after I've then sat there and watched a pay-per-view for God knows how many hours.
Yeah. So if we take this back, how did Last Man Standing come about then? Because you say you're all over the world.
So basically, Andrew Buckin. He's basically the godfather of Last Man Standing. Basically, he's the reason it all started. So me and Andrew had a feud over the over like the Facebook group chats, the Facebook pages that we're in, the Cultaholic one and the Wrestle Talk one. So we basically started a feud on the basis that he started the Wrestle Talk he started the Wrestle Talk fan club because of Adam Blompier being signed with Wrestle Talk. So this was around the time that he started, and we started going various back and forth. We did it in both of the pages. People were liking it. People like enjoyed it all. And so we had our feud over WrestleMania weekend. WrestleMania 36. So we had our feud. I won, just to put it out there. But then we started doing some quizzes, and we was like, why don't we record this and we can put it on Spotify? We can put it on as a podcast. So we originally started as a podcast. So we started doing that. We did that for a good few months. We got like 6 episodes out. And then I basically said, why don't we go to YouTube? Why don't we go to YouTube? We can do some editing. We can do live reactions. I'll make sure we get the right kind of, make sure I've got the right equipment, the right editing stuff, everything like that. And we went to YouTube. And we haven't looked back since, really. That's the basis of Last Man Standing has started from me versus Andrew in like a feud over Facebook group pages. And now we're on YouTube.
I'll probably ask this question again later, but what is the ultimate goal with Last Man Standing then? Is it to just have a creative outlet for wrestling? Is it because I know that's my goal. Like, I'd love for it to get a lot bigger than it is, obviously. Yeah. But is it just a creative outlet for wrestling? Is it?
It is just a creative outlet for us. It is a creative outlet where we can put our love of wrestling out into the world. I enjoy talking. I enjoy talking about wrestling. I enjoy talking about like fantasy booking stuff and ranting about various people like Jinder Mahal. But yeah, it's just an outlet. It's a creative outlet for us. Like we've had people on the channel, like we had Adam Pearson on the channel for like 2 hours ranking the AEW roster. We've had Sati Nyangi from Wrestling Daily come on and do an interview with us for an hour. We are growing as a channel, but it's just us to have a creative outlet. I don't see Last Man. I see Last Man Standing growing. Don't get me wrong. I see us growing, but I just see it as a creative outlet for all of us.
Yeah, I get you. Because like for me, I'll tell a story again, and I'm trying not to talk about myself.
No, go for it. Honestly.
Like,
yeah.
I put a message in the group chat when I first started because I was like, look, guys, I'm passionate and I've got loads of ideas. But if I start taking over and like you have ideas, please tell me, because I would never want you guys to feel like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. But we've at the end of the day, we're all creative minds. That's the way I see it. Is we all have a creative minds. We all build these storylines that we're doing. We build the title, like bringing up to the title matches and all that. We build stuff up. We're building people in. Like we bring people in. Like we've had 321 Screw. They're a US based wrestling channel, YouTube channel, and we've had them on. We had them on in the new year, and then we've had them on again to do SummerSlam predictions. It's like a broader audience, really.
Yeah, you think the same way I do, in the sense that if we all work together, we all come up. In the sense,
yeah, exactly. If we all come up, if I can bring people to us and then they elevate, brilliant. If I go to someone else and we elevate, brilliant. At the end of the day, we're all helping each other. That's how I see it as in the YouTube community. It's like, because let's be honest, YouTube can sometimes be a place for toxic people and people that don't understand. Like you get the hateful comments and all that. I just laugh them off. But you get the hateful comments and all that, and I'm just like, what's the point? Why are you like this, basically? But we're not. yeah, and again, if we get 6,000, again, if we get 1,000 subscribers and we get a certain amount of views and we start getting monetized, then all power to it. But I'm not expecting that. I'm just using it as a creative outlet for my wrestling knowledge and love for wrestling. It's just to get it out there.
Yeah, I agree. But like, if we take this back, when did you first become a wrestling fan then?
So, this is a difficult one because I actually can't. The very first feud I remember was Edge versus John Cena. That's the very first. Like we
discussed this in a previous video somewhere.
I think we did, but we'll talk about. Well, I don't mind talking about it now. I don't mind talking about go back down memory lane. But I believe it was the Edge and Cena feud in 2006. So it was right after. It was right after One Night Stand 2. That's when their feud kind of started, and that's where I think that's my jumping on point.
Oh yeah, because didn't he cost him the belt or something when Rob Van Dam cast in? Yeah.
So that was my jump. That was my jumping on point. I always like to say I am a ruthless aggression kid. That's the way I am, like the ruthless aggression era of wrestling. So obviously you've got the Kurt Angle still there, Randy Orton, The Undertaker, Batista.
Was he still there by this point though? He wasn't there for very long.
No, he wasn't there for very long, but he was there. I believe he was still there when I was watching. And then I had a drop-off period before, I believe before secondary school. I can't remember. It's either before secondary school or after secondary school. I kind of had a drop-off period of like, oh yeah, wrestling's fake, wrestling's this, rah, rah, rah. I was just like, I didn't like wrestling at that time. But then when I got older, I started to understand it.
Why was
that? I think it was just to follow a crowd. I think it was me just following people, following a herd of people that didn't like wrestling. And I was just like, oh yeah, I don't like wrestling. I don't like this. So I kind of fell into that hole of like, I don't like wrestling no more. But then when I went to college was when my love of wrestling came back. I started watching a lot of the What Culture videos, the ups and downs, the WTFs, the fantasy booking that Adam did, and the various stuff that Adam versus Adam. What Culture brought me back into wrestling, and I started watching the highlights. I watched back stuff. My mate gave me his WWE network. I watched back the Shield, watched back all the WrestleManias that I missed up until when I bought my own like WWE network. It's just, yeah, I've loved wrestling for a long time. I think I had the drop off period because I was just like following a herd of people. And then when I kind of went back to college, I was like, I want to be my own person. So I fell back into the love of wrestling.
Yeah. An interesting point, and I said this on an interview that I recorded previously, and I'm curious to know your thoughts, is with the age of social media and the fact that you can connect similar to how we have, like we've never met in person, but we've met over the internet and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think because a lot of people dropped off back in the day because their friends weren't watching, do you think that will happen less because you can create new friends, like discover new friends over the internet?
I feel like now in the age of social media, the world can do two things: bring each other together or pull people apart.
Yeah.
Right. And I think through wrestling, I've made friends with a lot of people. I've made friends with. I call. I don't know if he does, but you know, Alex McCarthy and Louis Dangoor and Saeed Niangi, like SP3, all them people. I've talked to them on their I've talked to them on Wrestling Daily. I've gone onto Wrestling Daily, and I consider them friends. At the end of the day, they're at the top of their game of what they do, and I consider them my friends. Right? If I like, at the end of the day, they were fortunate enough to like let me go on to that, like on there, like there was a creative process there. So
like I've had Alex on my channel before. He's a good guy. Like
he's honestly, Alex McCarthy is awesome. I've said this time and time again. I feel him, Sati, everyone in Wrestling Daily, all of those people, like they are at the top of their game. Like Louis Dangoor, for example, he's 21, and
he's younger than me.
Well, he's younger than me. He's 21, and he's on the top of his game where it comes to wrestling stuff. Talking about wrestling, like his articles and everything like that. Now he's running his own division on Give Me Sport. Like he's, at the end of the day, people are going to come up through the people that they're talking to. And if I'm not looking for a job, don't get me wrong, I'm not looking for that, because all I'm doing is YouTube is just a creative outlet for me. And I love talking about wrestling. It's just the way it is, really.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like, if something cool happens through this, like, say, Fightful reached out or Alex McCarthy reached out and said, do you want to do something? I'm not going to say no, am I?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that.
I'm not looking to get into it. Also, because I feel like if I worked in it full time, and you can tell me how you feel about this, like my love for wrestling might fade because it might become part of my job.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that too. I think if it became my job, then I think my love for wrestling might go down. But it's not. At the end of the day, it's not the job. It's not a job. It's not a job that I want. Really, don't get me wrong. I would love to. Don't get me wrong. I would love to do something like that. I'd love to have an interview. Love to be working for someone like Alex McCarthy or SP3 or someone and doing their interviews or something like that, or doing something for their channels. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to do that, but I'm not looking for it. I'm not physically going out there and hustling my ass to go, yeah, I want to go do this.
Yeah, because it's like, and this is just story time again. No, I apologize, but
go for it.
But when you asked me to review Grand Slam this week at time of recording,
I
was like, because I was watching that Kenny Omega match versus Bryan Danielson, which, in my opinion, is actually the match of the year.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's up there at least. I was like, but I've got to write notes on this now.
Yeah.
I had that moment of, like, don't get me wrong, I feel very lucky to do what I do, but it was like,
Yeah. I 100% get you there, Tom, because we were gonna rank, me and Jason ranked all of the NXT takeovers, and me and him I started right from the beginning, the first ever takeover, and I started writing notes, and I'm like, this is giving me a headache.
That was fine, and it was fine doing it, but it was like, this is a good match, and I just want.
It was so good. Let's not try and fanboy over that match, but oh my god.
Match of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Purely because, like, you don't see time limit draws enough, in my opinion, now.
No, you don't. And I feel like with that match as well, they left the door open for more.
Which may have happened by the time this airs. I'll just say that.
By the time this airs, we might have had Omega versus Danielson 3 times before this. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. So, how long have we been going, mate?
I don't know, about half hour.
Oh, so we've got a little while then.
Yeah.
Because I like to keep them about 45 minutes an hour.
That's fine.
So, at this point, because who is like the boss of Last Man Standing?
Okay. So
because I said it was you in that interview, but I was like, I may have got that wrong.
So basically, myself, the people that created Last Man Standing is myself, Andrew, Leon, and Dylan. Us four really is the creative mind behind Last Man Standing. We all have our own. Leon doesn't. Leon, because Leon has kids. Like Leon, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing because it really isn't. I still yet to meet his kids, but anyway, how do I put it? So he doesn't do a lot because of he has to look after his children, which is fair enough. Andrew, Andrew's kind of taken a bit of a back burner on it because he does work a lot. Dylan is kind of Dylan is the quote unquote commissioner of Last Man Standing, but I am the creative. I wouldn't say I am the creative mind of it. I'm
not saying in storyline. I'm saying out of storyline.
Oh, so out of storyline. It's myself, Andrew, Dylan, and Leon that are the creative force behind Last Man Standing. If we're gonna do, if we want something to do, like I create all the graphics. I do all of that. I work with like the editing stuff. Like I do all the editing. So I would say I'm not the boss of it because I don't want to give me that role because it's all of us that do it. It's not just me.
No, I know, but like because what I've always done, say I've come up with an idea for a series or an idea for a video, like for example, one that may have aired on the channel by the time this goes out is my top 10 favorites. And I know that people are going to be doing that. Hopefully soon, more people are going to be doing videos like that.
Yeah, at the time of recording, like me and Callum are going to do his one tonight. So there is people are going to be doing it. So
as I said, we need more content on a consistent basis. And also fans need to get to know us a bit more, in my opinion.
Exactly. We are looking to do like a get to know you kind of like sort of video things, like individual, like almost like our bios basically.
Yeah. Which is why I said let's do favourite matches, let's do pay-per-views, etc.
Yeah.
Which is why I said to you, I reached out to you and said it. Because I thought in the power struggle that you were the boss sort of thing.
I wouldn't, again, like I said, I wouldn't say I'm the boss because I don't want to put that label on me because
I get you.
I feel like that's that's unfair to everyone else because all of us play a part. All of us play a part in stuff that we're doing. And we're all kind of our own boss of a certain extent to Last Man Standing at the end of the day.
But like, because I'm still new, I wouldn't want to be like, oh, I'm going to record this and just send it over. I'm still at that point where.
So people, if I've said this various times on our group chats and everything like that. If anyone wants to record something, just do it. record it, do it, send it over to me. I can do the editing and I can get it out. Right? That's all. That's everything I've said. Like Dylan wants to do a No Mercy kind of thing, like for the N64. He wants to do the game. He wants to do a game and stuff. And I was like, yeah, do it. Definitely do it. Record it, send it over to me. I can edit. I can put the editing bits that we need in, and we can go and do it. At the end of the day, Tom, I want to build. Last Man Standing is a big thing. At the end, it's not a huge channel. Don't get me wrong. It's not a Cultaholic. It's not a Fightful. It's not a Wrestle Talk. It's not that. But it's just, I feel like it should be a creative outlet for me and my friends that have a passion for wrestling.
Yeah. So like, with the fact that I do reviews, some point I'd like to do some retro reviews.
Yeah, you. At the end of the day, if you want to do something like that, you can. I'm not going to stop you from doing it.
No, I do get that, but like I would never want to, because I don't want. You know how certain channels become, like, for example, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but What Culture has become Simon Miller quite regularly.
Yeah, it has.
Since my last video was on the channel, I don't want my one to be uploaded and then it'd be like boom, 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 boom. Why are you spamming us with Tom Talks Rubbish sort of thing? Yeah.
It's not so. I get you. I 100% get you. You don't want to have people get burned out on the same person, and you don't want someone to quote unquote carry the channel, which I 100% get. I feel like that's the problem at the minute with What Culture. I don't watch anything else apart from their lists and their and the ups and downs for like Raw, SmackDown, and not the NXT one, Raw, SmackDown, Rampage, Dynamite, and then the pay-per-view ones.
Yeah,
I don't. Again, I don't watch that, but I will watch. So originally I didn't like Wrestle Talk. So let's start from the beginning where me and Andrew started the feud. I started watching Wrestle Talk a lot more, and I started to understand why people liked Wrestle Talk.
Yeah, I am listening. I'm just getting my phone because I.
No, that's cool. Yeah, no, that's fine. So yeah, that's the way I see it.
Yeah, and like, I think that's a nice way to end it, to be honest, man. Like, we all want people to be creative. We don't want people to be like, oh, you can't do this.
Yeah.
You can't, do you know what I mean?
Exactly. You don't want to, you don't want to feel like you're burnt out. And I don't want to feel like people, if we do anything, I don't want people to feel like they don't have a creative outlet. And that's what Last Man Standing is at the end of the day. It's just it's a creative outlet for us.
Yeah, I agree. Like, so what is the ultimate? We've said this a bit, but like, is the ultimate goal to like not take over Cultaholic and stuff like that, or is it just to have a creative outlet? Literally, it's just
to have a creative outlet. I'm not. Okay, at the end of the day, Tom, if we made money from it, then fair enough, we can make some money from it. But at the minute, we're still a small channel. We're just about 3 away from 70 subscribers. We are still a small running channel, and if we get more, then fair enough. I'm more than happy for people to come watch me talk a load of rubbish about wrestling. I'm here for people to listen to your reviews. I'm here for them to listen to our lists. I'm here to people listen to me rant about people like Cody, Jinder Mahal, and we've got one cut. we're in the process of trying to record one for Nick Khan because yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's just that caveat of like, yeah, I want people to have, it's just something to be creative about.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Like I said this to you, like I don't think I'd still be watching wrestling if I hadn't met the Last Man Standing crew or Cultaholic wasn't a thing. Like because I have no one to talk about it with anymore.
Yeah. And that's the other thing as well, because my mum and my mum, dad, brother, and everything like that, they don't watch live wrestling no more. They used to watch it. They used to watch it with me, but now they don't watch it no more. So I don't have anyone to talk to here. But now, through Last Man Standing, through the cult fan club, the Wrestle Talk fan club, I have people to talk about wrestling. Last Man Standing is just for me and you and the others to have a creative outlet to get our thoughts across. Yes, and if people don't watch it, then fine. People don't have to watch it. But yeah, if people are not going to watch it, then fine. People don't watch them. But at the end of the day, it's out there in the universe now. I can then move on to something else. I've got my thoughts out. Now I can move on to something else. That was the whole preface of the Cody Rhodes rant that I did, because I needed to get my thoughts out of there, because oh my God, that whole situation at Double or Nothing annoyed me. But I had to get it out there. I had to get my thoughts out there. Yes, it took me a while to get it out there, but it went out there.
Yeah. So basically, to wrap this up, for people that don't know, Last Man Standing is basically a creative outlet for us.
Yeah, it's just at the end of the day, Last Man Standing is a creative outlet. If it grows, then I am more than happy for it to grow. If we get paid from it, if YouTube want to start paying me for ranting and raving about people, then fair enough, YouTube can pay me. But again, yeah, it's just a creative thing for me and my friends to do.
Yeah. So as we wrap this up, the question I always end on is, what's one video that you're like, go watch that, I'm really proud of it, stuff like that. And then what's one that you're like, that doesn't paint me in the best, not doesn't, like,
I know where you are.
Then, like, don't watch that.
So my favorite video I've ever done is the Cody Rhodes rant. That is my favorite. No, it is out. It is out. The Cody Rhodes. Yeah. That's been out for a couple of months now. Yeah. That is my favorite video I've ever done. Yes, some of the editing was a bit iffy, but it is one of my favorite videos I've ever done. And my least favorite video on the editing alone. That's the only caveat for it. The editing alone, because I had various issues with it, and I was just like, I don't really want to put this out, but I had to put it out. Was the debate video that me and Emma did about the titles? For some reason, I lost the raw footage, so I had to search it, and it looked a bit corrupted and all that. So that is my least favorite one. But again, that is nothing for what we said or anything like that. It is just it was just the editing and the footage that boiled down to this.
I get you. So obviously, guys, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm on the road to 500 subscribers by the end of the year for this channel. And am I right in saying we'd love to hit 100 subscribers for Last Man Standing by the end of this year?
I would love to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year. Yes.
So
100%.
Obviously, check me out and subscribe if you like this video. Obviously, thank you to Tyler for coming on. And
you're welcome.
Thank you for bringing me on to Last Man Standing.
Mate, of course, it's an absolute pleasure having you on Last Man Standing.
And if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Go subscribe to Last Man Standing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.